Attention, if want to know and fully understand the content, keep watching until the end of the video. It's very important to concentrate and pay attention to the details. So, let's start the journey in the fantastic world of prehistory. Animal taxonomy. What is its name? The name of this creature is Tyrannosaurus rex. The generic name derives from Greek. The word tyrannus means tyrant, and the word sauros means lizard. The specific name, rex, derives from Latin and means king. The complete binomial name translates to tyrant lizard the king, or king tyrant lizard. Morphology of the animal. What is its size? Based on fossil specimens, scientists have determined that a Tyrannosaurus rex could be up to 40 feet long, something about 12.192 meters, and 12 feet high, something about 3.65 meters. T-Rex is estimated to have weighed between 11,000 and 15,500 pounds, something about 5,000 and 7,000 kilograms. What did it look like? Let's organize it in parts, so it's easier to understand. Number 1. Head. Tyrannosaurus had a huge skull. Number 2. Eyes. Tyrannosaurus had forward-facing eyes. Number 3. Jaws. This creature had very powerful and very muscular jaws. This creature have one of the strongest jaws of the history. We will talk about its bite force later. Number 4. Teeth. It had serrated teeth, appropriated to strip pieces of flesh apart. The T-Rex had 50 to 60 serrated teeth. Each one can reach about 8 to 12 inches long, something about 20 and up to 30 centimeters long. They were sharp knife-like teeth. Their shape is perfectly suited to the diet of an apex predator. At the front of the jaws are sturdy, cone-shaped teeth, strong enough to hold down struggling prey. Behind these, the teeth, at the edge of the mouth, are thinner and serrated, like steak knives, ideal for slicing through flesh and muscle fiber. The teeth at the back are strongest. These would have been used to crush bones with incredible force. There is a discussion about if their teeth were sharp like knives, or they were fairly dull and wide, almost like bananas. Well, in any case, this can make some damage. Number 5. Forelimbs. It had very tiny forelimbs, equipped with 2 powerful claws. The arms of T-Rex were about the size of a human's arms, though with different proportions, and only 2 fingers. T-Rex arms were very muscular. Some estimates it was able to pull 180 kilograms, something about 400 pounds, as estimated by the size of their biceps. Number 6. Legs. This animal had very strong and muscular legs. Number 7. Tail. One long and very muscular tail, probably used to keep balance while hunting and walking. Number 8. Feet. This creature had bird-like feet. Every foot had 3 large toes, all equipped with claws, plus a little dew claw on a tiny, vestigial 4th toe. Number 9. Skin. Some studies indicates that the skin had scales. Some researchers found that they had bony plates embedded in their skin. Number 10. Brain. The average adult human brain weighs about 3 pounds, something around 1,300 to 1,400 grams. The average human brain is around 15 centimeters long. An adult Tyrannosaurus rex had a brain that weighed approximately 1 kilogram, about half of the size of an adult human, but that does not mean that T-Rex was half as smart as we are. Although the brain is small compared to the overall size of the dinosaur, the regions involved in smell, sight, and hearing are well developed, suggesting this animal had keen senses. New studies has helped confirm that 50% of T-Rex brain function was dedicated to analyzing smells. Basically, the T-Rex is similar to other theropods, but with stronger physical characteristics. It completes the basic overview about the T-Rex shape. Animal ethology, how did it behave? Main behavioral characteristics: diet, carnivore. Food chain trophic level, probably an apex predator, also known as top predator or alpha predator. Locomotion, bipedal, digitigrade, walk and run. Environment, terrestrial. Respiratory system, pulmonary, using lungs. Tyrannosaurus rex, probably, used the same, super efficient, respiratory system that birds have today. Thermoregulation, endothermic, warm-blooded. Sexual dimorphism, researchers speculate that females of Tyrannosaurus had larger hips. But this hypothesis is not conclusive, since fossils and bones are not enough material to take conclusions. Defining dinosaur sexuality is still a very hard work to the researchers. The T-Rex bite force. This animal had an incredible bite force. Many researchers make calculations and simulations about the real T-Rex bite force. We can find values ranging from 8,000 pounds to 13,000 pounds. Something about 3,628 kilograms to 5,896 kilograms. The real fact, we know for sure, is that this creature had a tremendous bite force, capable of breaking large bones. Probably, it is among the strongest bite forces of the history. There are plenty of paperworks saying that that's the most powerful bite among terrestrial animals. Much research indicates that the only bite force that outweighs the bite of the T-Rex is the bite force of the megalodon, but the megalodon is not a terrestrial creature. The T-Rex eyesight. The eye sockets were angled forwards, like those of modern hunters, meaning that Tyrannosaurus rex could accurately judge distances. This is crucial for chasing down prey. Some studies guess it could have seen objects up to 6 kilometers away. Tyrannosaurus rex had both peripheral and binocular vision. Binocular vision, Tyrannosaurus rex used both eyes together to give it accurate depth perception. This is the binocular vision. The T-Rex had a wide field of binocular vision, something around 55 degrees. That's 13 times the field of a human. The T-Rex hearing. Extensive studies suggests Tyrannosaurus rex had good hearing. It probably heard low-frequency sounds best, such as those made by the footsteps of other dinosaurs. The T-Rex's sense of smell, T-Rex brains, shows unusually large olfactory regions for a dinosaur, indicating that the species had an exceptionally keen sense of smell. The T-Rex forelimbs utility. Some studies suggested the T-Rex arms were used to slash prey in close proximity to the dinosaur. The arms, which were approximately 3 feet long, featured crescent-shaped talons that could be used to inflict mortal wounds to the prey. And the short arm length was actually more beneficial for slashing, considering the size of the T-Rex's head. Over more than a century, other proposed explanations for the short arms included waving for mate attraction or social signaling, serving as an anchor to allow T-Rex to get up from the ground, holding down prey, stabbing enemies, and even pushing over a sleeping Triceratops at night. We also have theories about it was completely useless. The T-Rex speed. Paleontologists had suggested that the T-Rex clocked a top speed of 10 miles per hour, something around 16 kilometers per hour, and a walking speed between 4.5 and 6.7 miles per hour, something around 7.2 kilometers per hour, and 10.7 kilometers per hour. The T-Rex was more like a slow walker than a fast runner. Very different from Jurassic Park, T-Rex chasing car scene. Probably by the strong structure of its legs. It may be a fast runner in short distances and a very resistant long-distance walker. T-Rex, predator or scavenger? Many research suggests that the T-Rex was a predator and a scavenger at the same time. Many signs indicates its predatory behavior, like teeth embedded inside bones of prey, for example. And we have also many signs of carrion eating. Many specialists believe that it was a predator and also an opportunist. T-Rex septic bite. It has been hypothesized that tyrannosaurs had septic bites. The shape and angle of the spaces between tooth serrations of tyrannosaurids most closely resemble those of Komodo dragons, a species known for their septic bites. Grease and other food particles become trapped between the T-Rex's teeth serrations, leading to colonization by septic bacteria, meaning that a non-fatal bite by a tyrannosaur would have led to a serious bacterial infection. Besides, because tyrannosaur mostly hunted prey much smaller than themselves, a septic bite would not have made that much difference to their effectiveness as a predator. So, researchers believe that T-Rex was not a specialist at this technique. What did it eat? T-Rex was a huge carnivore and primarily ate herbivorous dinosaurs, including Edmontosaurus, Anatosaurus, and Triceratops. The predator acquired its food through scavenging and hunting. It probably could also have swallowed smaller dinosaurs in a single bite. A 6-ton T-Rex would need the same daily calories as 80 people on a diet of 2,500 calories per day. That translates to about 140 kilograms of meat, something around 308.6 pounds of meat. Probably, it can hunt everything that passes in front of him, but he was not always successful. Many studies suggests that T-Rex didn't chop or grind its food, it swallowed chunks whole. We have confirmations that the lower jaw of T-Rex had a joint midway through its length that may have helped to absorb some of the shock generated by struggling prey. Paleoecology, where did it live? The Tyrannosaurus rex lived on what is today the western North America, in an island continent called Laramidia. Tyrannosaurus fossils have been found in the following sedimentary rocks. 1. The Lance Formation, location, eastern Wyoming. 2. The Hell Creek Formation, location, eastern Montana, southwestern North Dakota, and northwestern South Dakota. 3. The Livingston Formation, location, Montana. 4. The Javelina Formation, location, Big Bend, Texas. 5. The Laramie Formation, location, Colorado. 6. The McRae Formation, location, New Mexico. 7. The Scallard and Willow Creek Formations, location, Alberta, Canada. 8. The Frenchman Formation, location, Saskatchewan, Canada. Geology, when did it live? The rock layers, where the T-Rex fossils are found, dates from Mesozoic era, late Cretaceous period, in the Maastrichtian stage, about 68 to 65 million years ago. Paleontological discovery, how was it discovered? We can say that the T-Rex was discovered 3 times. 1. The first discovery. Ironically, this discovery doesn't count. During the Bone Wars, between Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh, in the late 1800s. In 1892, Edward Drinker Cope discovered 2 partial vertebrae. He haphazardly studied them, and made the assumption they came from a new ceratopsid dinosaur. He named it Manospondylus higus, which means giant porous vertebra. 100 years later, at year 2000, Peter Larson, from the Black Hills Institute, found more of the original animal. Larson realized the animal that Cope described over 100 years ago is a T-Rex. 2. The second discovery. This is the one that counts. In year 1902, at Hell Creek Quarry, in Montana, the fossil hunter, Barnum Brown, found a huge skull and a giant teeth from a large theropod dinosaur. The American Museum of Natural History curator, Henry Fairfield Osborn, named it Tyrannosaurus rex, meaning tyrant lizard king. It is specimen AMNH 973, and is now the holotype specimen for the Tyrannosaurus rex. 3. The third discovery. This one really should have been the real first one that counts. 2 years before the discovery of the holotype specimen. In year 1900, Barnum Brown was doing excavations in Wyoming, looking for a trophy Triceratops skull for the American Museum of Natural History. There, he discovered a large carnivorous theropod that was around 13% complete. However, due to not sending it to American Museum of Natural History in a timely manner, and a small mistake by Henry Fairfield Osborn, it ended up not being the first official Tyrannosaurus rex. Miscellaneous, additional information. When the Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton was first put on display, it was presented, standing vertically, in a Godzilla-like pose, as seen at the Carnegie Museum of Natural History. It was around year 1950. Recent studies show the dinosaur actually kept its body horizontal. How it was extinct. Tyrannosaurus rex went extinct during the Cretaceous-Paleogene mass extinction event about 65 million years ago. This extinction killed the remaining dinosaurs, and not just the Tyrannosaurus rex, many other animal and plant groups went extinct. The most accepted hypothesis is the Alvarez hypothesis. This hypothesis is about a falling asteroid in the peninsula of Yucatan, in Mexico. What is still not known about it? Tyrannosaurus rex, or T-Rex, has long been one of the most famous dinosaurs. Now, researchers are debating whether the giant meat-eating Tyrannosaurus should be considered as one species or 3 different species. 3 researchers, led by independent paleontologist Gregory Paul of Baltimore, Maryland, argued in March 2022 that 3 T-Rex species should be recognized. In addition to the species T-Rex, meaning tyrant lizard king, they proposed 2 additional species, T. imperator, meaning tyrant lizard emperor, and T. regina, meaning tyrant lizard queen. The researchers said their study was based on differences in the thickness of the thigh bones and the shape of the lower front teeth. They based their claims on over 30 Tyrannosaurus specimens. But other paleontologists disagreed. The discussion are open and still not solved. About this creature and the museums? Here goes some of the museums where you can find fossils and models. 1. American Museum of Natural History. Location: Central Park, New York, USA. 2. Field Museum of Natural History. Location: Chicago, USA. 3. Manchester Museum. Location: Manchester, England. About this creature and the cryptozoology. There are some unidentified creatures cited. Some people associated these creatures with the Tyrannosaurus rex. Some of these creatures are 1. The Kasai rex. Location: Democratic Republic of the Congo, Africa. Sightings: in year 1932, the experienced hunter, John Johnson, also known as Johansen, and his servant. They met a creature in the savannah and in a swamp. The creature was devouring a rhinoceros. Johnson paralyzed, he said, in his interview with the newspaper, Rhodesia Herald. It had a long snout and numerous teeth. He decided that the creature, that had 13 meters, something around 43 feet long, was a Tyrannosaurus. 2. The Burundjor, also known as the Bunger. Location: Australia. Sightings: throughout the 1950s, Australian cattle ranchers reported a large lizard-like creature, leaving bipedal tracks, was eating their livestock. Local Aborigines suggest that it is a reptilian animal, possibly with feathers, whose diet consisted of kangaroos, and other large animals. About this creature, and the media, Tyrannosaurus rex is far the most popular dinosaur. This creature participates in many movies, series, documentaries, cartoons, books, graphic novels, and more. Movies where the T-Rex played a significant role actually are 1. Jurassic Park. 2. Jurassic World. Animal classification and taxonomy, scientific classification, kingdom, Animalia. Phylum, Chordata. Clade, Dinosauria. Clade, Saurischia. Clade, Theropoda. Family, Tyrannosauridae. Subfamily, Tyrannosaurinae. Genus, Tyrannosaurus, by Henry Fairfield Osborn, 1905. Type species, Tyrannosaurus rex, by Henry Fairfield Osborn, 1905. Certainly, the T-Rex is a formidable predator, and a fantastic creature. Its success and popularity is well deserved. But he is not the only one. There are many fantastic creatures who once walked the land, flied in the skies, and swam in the seas. Although there is a lot of inconsistent information and much to discover about him, this does not obfuscate the brilliance of this impressive being. If you are watching the video until now, don't forget to watch more videos. The Dinopedia channel is full of content about prehistoric creatures, facts, and events. And also, don't forget to like it and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.